Hey, good morning, friends. Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I hope this time has found you well. Hey, good morning, John. Imagine the open chairs for Elijah and his friend. Nice. Good morning, Robin. So glad you're here. Look at what I did with my coffee. There it is. All right. I can continue. Hey, Vicky. Good morning to you. I'm glad you're well. Glad you're here. Hope things are going all right. But, it is this Yeah, this it is the first day of fall, gang. Like this the 22nd of September. Can you believe we made it all the way to fall? Can you believe we started this in the spring? We have spent the entire summer together. I first cranked this up uh, that um, that middle week of March, and we have been at this as a journeying community, you and I, for an entire season now. Jamie wanted to say hi to everybody, but she's not gonna. She may or may not join, but um, that is terrific. You know that we might, and that I might say Jamie's name, and that you might know who that is, even if you don't know Jamie. Even if that you don't know her face to face, you know her here, and you know her as a part of this journeying community. Good morning, Irene. Great to see you here this morning. We are back at it. It is terrific. So welcome everybody. It is the 22nd day of September 2020, and this is 11:11. Where can you imagine? We have been at this an entire season now. That we have been a part of each other's lives. We've been a part of journeying together. We have been at this table with each other. And we have feasted, and we have spent time. We have dealt with the anxieties of this age. We have dealt with the difficulties. There have been you. There are names now that you recognize that you did not recognize before, and that you have become friends, whether you've ever stood in the same room together or not. Uh, the best thing to come out of Corona time. I sure hope that's true. I actually hope that's not true. I hope greater good things will come out of this time. I hope more beautiful things will come out of this time. I think it's great. Hey, good morning, Fannie Faye Davis. That I hope even more wondrous things than just me flapping my gums at you occasionally. Um, that is a part of this. So this morning, I want to bring us to some scripture, and I want to just read this for you because to me it's so delicious. It's so good, and it's this image this morning of us having spent a season together. We spent a whole season together. We started in March. We spent the entire summer journeying. Now we've taken a little time off, and you're not always up in each other's grill all the time, but we journeyed all through those early days. We've journeyed entirely through this summer, off and on again, and we find ourselves now planted in fall right here. And I am so honored that you are still on this journey with us, that you've come here to spend your time and your talent and your energy to be a part of this, that you find meaning in it, because I find meaning in it, and I'm glad that you do too. And I want to offer you this. This is from the prophet Isaiah, and it's one of my more favorites. And I think it just it speaks to this age of where we are right now, like of what this place where we're finding ourselves. So hear these words. It's a little bit long, but just stay with me. Let it wash over you. Kind of hear this and just let it wash over you like a wave. Just let's see what it has to say to you this morning. Come, everyone who thirsts, come to the waters, and he who has no money, come buy and eat. Come and buy wine and milk without money and without price. Why do you spend your money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which does not satisfy? Listen diligently to me and eat what is good. Delight yourselves in rich food. Incline your ear and come to me. Hear that your soul may live. I will make with you an everlasting covenant, my steadfast, sure love for David. Behold, I made him a witness to the peoples, a leader and commander for the peoples. Behold, you shall call a nation that you do not know, and a nation that did not know you shall run to you, because the Lord your God, of the Holy One of Israel, for he has glorified you. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the righteous man his thoughts. Let him return to the Lord, for he may have compassion on him, to our God, that he will abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. Oh, so good. So good. This invitation, this story, this scripture that comes from Isaiah to a people that are in trouble, that are outnumbered and surrounded, that Isaiah speaks these words to them and says, there's a banquet. Come, everyone who thirsts. You know, I don't if any of you know me, good morning, Diana. Good morning, Donna. Great to have you here. If any of you know me, you know I like food. I believe in eating, and I like to have a meal out. I enjoy the act of being out. I enjoy the act of breaking bread at a table. And that has been interrupted in this time. If you haven't noticed that, I'm sure you have. This scripture is about us coming to the table. It's about this banquet that is set for us. And so this notion that there are these parts of this, and it seems to have this thread of redemption, right? It's like, turn yourself around and it'll be okay. But I don't think that's really what's going on here. And I don't think that's really what's going on in our life, because I don't know if you've been out to eat yet, or if you've been, like, I think, many of us have, and I hope you have, that you've been able to break bread. But there is this little kabuki dance that we have to do about where we stand and how we stand and what we do, and we do the hokey pokey, and we put our mask here, but then we take it off there, and then we put it back on to do this. And so we have all these different little protocols and things, and that we do. We have this new ritual that we come to in our time, in order that we might sit down and have a meal. But see, the thing is, when you hear these words, come buy and eat, come buy and have milk without money and without price, and that we might come to this banquet, it's this invitation to come to today, right now. It's this invitation to come to this moment right now. It's this invitation to come and sit at the Lord's table, which is really the metaphor for our life, that all the things that we're sitting at the table for, all the things that are being served up to us. We think we know what the good course will be. We think we know what the best course is. I appreciate, I really am so thankful for Vicky this morning to say, like, that this 11:11 is the best thing to come out of this time for her. And I'm really, that touches me, really. That's I'm really thankful for that. And we don't know. We don't know what banquet is being served up. We don't know what course is coming next. We don't know but our invitation is to simply come to the table and feast, to seek the Lord while he may be found, to call upon him while he is near, to let the wicked forsake his way, let unrighteous in his thoughts, and let him return to God that have compassion. For my thoughts are not your thoughts. So there's this thing called the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. You didn't think I was going to go here today, did you? This thing called the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Heisenberg was a physicist about the 1920s. Heisenberg came up with this notion. And he's studying chaos theory. Is what he's studying is chaos in the world, that how things are random. And that the random chaos of things. And he continued to study this his entire life. And what he came up with, what ended up being called Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. And it's this, that if you drop a bit of water out of a dropper, it will never drop the same way twice. There's always these little difference in inflections, that there's this randomness in the universe, this chaos in the universe that is constantly at work. There's this constant chaos. Yet, what Heisenberg discovered and this is true in the physical world. So let me just consider this. This is not an airy-fairy kind of idea of like, oh, if we all just hug it out, it'll be okay. Now this is how the physical world works. What he discovers is that no matter how violent the chaos in the physical world, no matter how much something twitches around, no matter how random, no matter how many different injections of chaos there are, on the physical level, there is always an order that encompasses that chaos. That it's actually quite impossible to create pure chaos, pure noise without rhythm, without order to it, pure just violence that would tear everything apart and never have order to it. It's actually physically impossible. This is what the Heisenberg uncertainty principle talks about, when that the way things fall, the way things move in this world are all a part of a larger order of being. And he was the first guy to actually be able to study this, actually be able to mathematically show it in some ways. And what Heisenberg has this great quote. He says, it's one of my very favorites. He says, the first sip of the glass of the physical sciences will make you an atheist. He says, but don't worry. If you keep drinking, God is waiting for you at the bottom of the glass. Isn't that beautiful? God is waiting for you in the bottom of the glass. I know, wouldn't we? I'd love to be able to hug it out too. Isn't that real? And that this season that we've been served up, like this Isaiah is understanding, that we don't understand why we're getting served up the tripe and the cow's liver right now, if that's what you're getting served up. We don't know why you're getting served up the isolation. We don't know why we're getting it, but what we know is there is order even in it, even at the table that we're sitting at right now. Because what we know is our ways are not God's ways. And that there is a wisdom and an intelligence and a beauty that's larger and bigger than all of us combined can even know. Not even individually, but all of us combined can even know. You see, that's the beauty of what it is. And so when we go out to eat, and when we go to break bread, and we have to do these kabuki dances of what it is to get there and to get at our table, think about this in the sense of like, what is it that we need to do? What is it that we're doing in our days to be able to welcome in the meal we're being served right now, to welcome in what we are being offered up as a meal in our lives at this moment. Not so that not we're like, oh gosh, I couldn't eat another Schnitzengruben, kind of pushing away the plate, but what is it that we're welcoming the plate into us, so we might hear those words and know those things. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. The great Annie Dillard says, I cannot cause light. The most I can do is put myself in the path of its beam. Friends, we can't cause what we get served up. We can't cause even how we come to the meal these days. We don't even necessarily get to control. But what we can do is pull ourselves up to the table and feast on what the Lord has given us today. What's a part of our life today? This meal right here and right now. Take the sip off the cup, even if the top of it's a little bit bitter, because at the bottom of the glass, God's waiting for us to bring us into those higher ways and that great beauty, and offer us wine and milk and bread that has no price, because it is the very food of heaven. All right, friends, that's my hope for you today. That is our 11:11 time. We'll be back tomorrow. We are back in the rhythm of things, and we're not letting off this anytime soon. So I am so thankful you have spent this season with me, and you have spent this season with each other, and that you are continuing to journey in these days. We'll continue to hold on to each other. That till that time when we actually can hug it out. That time when we are all coming to see one another face to face. So I am joyful that you're with us on this journey. I am so thankful for each one of you. I love chaos theory. I love chaos theory too. It is that is a beauty to it. I am that. Thank you, each one of you, for being on this journey, and keep sipping on that glass. That even if it's a little bitter right now, God's waiting for you at the bottom, friends. Peace and grace, all.